Summer 2025 is now officially over, and what an eventful season it was, filled with back-to-back bangers, a stacked lineup if I do say so myself, and we're now in another dead period, fall 2025. Hooray, that's just great. So, I thought it'd be a good idea to rank all the anime I watched last season, and hopefully recommend some in the process, because I did watch a lot. 24 to be exact, so this will probably be split up into 2 separate videos. Because there's so many, I won't go too much in depth with each one, just list the strengths and weaknesses of them. I'll be going over them in order of release date for those who ask, so without further ado, let's get started. First, Dandadan Season 2. Continuing from Season 1's finale, while Momo is at an onsen, Okaru and Gigi discover a room full of seals. Turns out this mysterious group of people, the Kito family, have been regularly performing sacrifices for an alien Mongolian death worm, and throughout this encounter, Gigi gets a yokai form of his own, that being the Evil Eye. Majority of this season is focused on Gigi trying to control his newly acquired power. Now I will have to go back and watch Season 1, but just from Season 2 alone, the color theory improves a lot. Like compared to action scenes from Season 1, the colors are much more focused and appropriate to every scene. The hand-to-hand combat has improved heavily as well. More attention and care is put into the physical combat this season, which I can appreciate. And another strength is the compositing. All the elements come together nicer compared to last season. My only critique is, why is this categorized as Season 2? Now considering where Season 1 ended and the time frame between each seasons, it feels more like cores. Kind of a nitpick, but I get that Season 1 was sort of like a test season to see if it would perform well, which I already knew it would considering how popular the manga is. But yeah, it's just weird that they labeled it as a Season 2 rather than just like Core 2 and then the next season be Season 2. Again, I completely understand why they released it that way, but yeah, overall it was another good season, which is why I'm ranking it an A. Can't wait for Season 3 and Vamola. Very much looking forward to that. If people like Season 2, you're gonna really love Season 3, because I feel like that's probably, in manga readers' opinions, the best arc in Dandadan's run. Next series, Call of the Night Season 2. This season delves deeper into the characters, most notably Nazuna and Anko, both individually and as a duo. In Season 1, Anko's introduction was very mysterious yet intriguing. Who is she? How is she so knowledgeable about vampires? All of those questions are finally answered in this season. When it comes to Nazuna, she wants to know about her past memories. It's then revealed she's actually half human, half vampire, and that her mom was the one who turned Kaoru into a vampire. Nazuna's mom also tasks her to take care of Nazuna after she disappeared. We also get backstory on Nazuna and Anko's relationship with the two meeting as teenagers. Initially, Anko wanting to be a vampire, but because of a tragic incident, vows to rid the world of vampires, leading into the second half of the season, which is the Halloween arc. Now this season ramps up the stakes compared to the first season. Like, the first season was pretty much set up for what we got here. The writing this go around is definitely the biggest strength when it comes to both the story and the characters. I like how Season 2 sheds more light on the characters. They weren't as highlighted in Season 1, just introduced. So I was able to form more of a connection to them since they focused so heavily on them. Number 2, the vocal performances. Every seiyuu gives their all, especially Nazuna and Anko. I already love Miyuki Sawashiro's performance as Anko in Season 1 for its off-kilter, dry tone. How she drags her voice with certain words and lines add a lot of character to Anko's personality and who she is, and it gets even better this season. Number 3, the backstories. Nazuna's entire arc on her past, how she came to be, and her connection to Kaoru, and how she fell in love with Nazuna's mom were executed really well. Nazuna and Anko's relationship was also a huge highlight. Number 4, the character chemistry. Because we get a lot more info on the characters, their interactions held a lot more weight narratively and emotionally. And number 5, the color theory. The overall visual aesthetic is one of Call of the Night's strongest qualities. The source material already had an aura to it that Light & Films took and elevated to what we have in the anime, the true definition of vibes. Now, one problem I did have with the season was definitely the Nazuna versus Anko fight. How the sequence was structured felt unfocused, maybe to hone in on its erratic nature, but the overlaying effects were distracting, the cuts were too abrupt, and the camera was all over the place. I just think overall it could have been directed way better than what we got. But other than that, Another dope season. I really enjoyed this more than season 1. Season 1 I definitely give like a B+, A-, but this season I'm gonna give an A+. Looking forward to season 3 whenever it gets announced, because we're now on radio silence, but yeah. Next show is The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Rintaro, despite his intimidating build, is a gentle giant. All his life he's been perceived as someone he's not. That is until he meets Kaoru, a pretty girl who always visits his parents' cake shop. Rintaro attends Chidori High School, a place predominantly made up of delinquent guys, whereas Kaoru attends Kikyo Private Academy, a pristine all-girls school sitting right across from Chidori. Despite the disdain these two schools have for one another, Rintaro and Kaoru end up falling in love with each other. As far as what I liked about this show, the characters and the character writing. Each character is unique, and when they come together have huge chemistry with one another, especially the girls and when they come together with the guys and make up. I really enjoyed the classism aspect of Kikyo versus Chidori. I really like the dynamic between the two schools and the rivalry they have. Number 3, Kaoru and Ritaro's romance. A lot of romances, especially in recent time, has a tendency to extend the romance between the duo as long as humanly possible. Sometimes for no reason too, as if we don't already know halfway through who's gonna end up together, when in reality, it doesn't take a whole year to confirm your feelings for someone and confess to them. Just get together and wrap this up. It's like the mangaka purposely wants us to suffer. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Blue Box. Romance anime is already a slow burner genre, and Blue Box executes it with the speed of a snail doused in salt. Yeah, not just Gary, full on escargot. I had to read ahead of season 1 because of how slow it was going. I didn't feel sorry for Hina and still don't, because it was predictable who Taiki was going to end up with. On the other hand, before Taiki and Chinatsu start dating, every other girl character that isn't Chinatsu are more interesting characters and better love interests. Chinatsu has the personality of cardboard in season 1. This is why I like how Saka Mikami executes the romance between Kaoru and Rintaro. It's more realistic and to the point. They actually get together and the series still continues. Number 4, the potential romance between Subaru and Saku. Throughout the season, it's hinted at something potentially budding with Subaru and Saku. After the guys and girls make up, Saku starts to warm up to Subaru when he sees she's still being reserved and not interacting with the group. Episode 12 highlights a more intimate bond between the two that I hope goes somewhere next season. And I honestly like Subaru a little bit more than Kaoru. Number 5, how they implemented the manga art at the end of each episode. A subtle detail, but the manga chapter art added at the end is a nice touch. In case people who wanted to read after the anime was over, you know exactly where to start. I actually wish more shows did this. I don't know why they don't. And the show's only weakness is Netflix's handling of the show, specifically Netflix in the West, not Japan. Advertisements for the anime were revealed before summer even started, giving the illusion of the show airing in summer, obviously, but that was just for Japan. The West, however, had to wait until September. This wouldn't be a big deal had it not have been tweeted from Netflix Anime's English account on Twitter. Also, the English dub is god awful. Oh my goodness. Outside of Robbie Damon as Rintaro, every other voice sounds out of place. Like, I didn't think it was possible to still get dubs this bad in 2025. And to be clear, this has nothing to do with the actors themselves, because this has to be stated in case this gets taken out of context or clipped for some reason. It's clear they have a passion for voice acting and a talent. They just probably weren't given the best direction to execute properly, so most deliveries fall flat, especially Rintaro's friends. Oh my goodness. But other than that, another solid romance from Cloverworks. I'm ranking The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity a B+. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Next show is My Dress Up Darling Season 2. In this season, Gojo becomes more comfortable in making outfits for Marin's cosplays. Also, he learns more about the process and other things like taking better photos, creating props, everything. He even grows more confident when it comes to the craft after creating a cosplay for the class's school competition. We're also introduced to more characters who grow to become friends in a huge support system. And throughout the season, Marin's feelings for Gojo increase and she struggles with how to overcome that. Should she continue to keep it hidden, or should she finally confess? success. Now, as far as strengths go, number one is definitely the animation. Because it's Cloverworks, the animation was already top tier in season 1. Somehow it got even better in season 2. The amount of attention paid to clothes, like the wrinkles and the different fabrics, the overlap is extremely accurate. The team went above and beyond on this front, and I can't wait to see it improve next time. Number 2, the improved visuals. It's probably due to me watching season 1 3 years ago, but season 2 feels much more dynamic and atmospheric. The shots give more love to the space and environment around the characters rather than just focusing on reverse shots for 30 minutes. I don't remember the first season being executed that way, but I'm glad they did it this time because it does play a huge part in the show. And number 3, the new characters. Some side characters from last season have more involvement this time around. We're also introduced to new characters who are great additions to the cast. I've seen tweets showing lots of love to Akira before she made her appearance in the anime, and for good reason. I didn't know how to take her character at first, but as we got to know more about her, I started to feel bad. Like, her parents throwing out all of her manga and otaku stuff, essentially killing a part of herself, was sad to see. How her initial feelings towards Marin get misconstrued as hate when she's just a super fan was not just adorable, but funny as shit. Akira was definitely the best new character to debut this season. And the only weakness really is, I don't think the season was better than season 1. Now, season 1 had a lot of good moments and episodes, but in my opinion, season 1 was still more entertaining. Now, it's not a diss towards season 2, but that's just how good the first season was. Like, it was just more solid. But overall, I would give My Dress Up Darling season 2 an A-. Again, we're on radio silence because no third season has been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll come around. Like, this show is way too popular to not get a season 3, and hopefully it doesn't take another 3 years. Next show is Gachiakuta. Rudo is a kid living in a rundown area of the sphere with his father Reguto. He would go dumpster diving in the wealthy part of town, finding things deemed valuable enough to fix. This all changes, however, when he is framed with Reguto's murder. His punishment? Being thrown into the pit, an underworld filled with trash and trash beasts. Landing in a restricted area, Rudo is saved by Engine, a member of the Cleaners. In hopes of finding a way back to the sphere and receiving more answers, Rudo ends up joining the organization. Now, its first strength, the cast. The show is filled with so many interesting characters that you want to know more about, and they're intriguing enough to where everything about them hasn't been revealed yet, but you're entranced to continue watching. Rudo is a great character to follow as we get to know more about the world through his eyes. Number 2, the character design. Compared to other series this season, this has some of the most stylish, unique character designs of summer 2025, and the best looking black characters I've seen in recent memory. I truly appreciate mangaka who go out of their way to create authentic, accurate looking black people. Kishimoto, Kubo, Okubo, and now Kei Urana. Corvus, Jabber, and Simu all look dope as fuck. And yes, for the uncultured swine out there, Corvus is black. I don't know if you've ever seen an Asian nigga with wicks, but that's a very deep-rooted black hairstyle. And yes, Jabber is also black. Light-skinned black people with locks exist. No, he's not Asian, even though you see Japanese people with dreads. Their hair can't even texturally do that. Like, let's not play coy, don't be stupid. Its third strength, the world building. In a short amount of time, the world has been set up enough to smoothly move the plot along without any breaks in immersion. Strength number 4, the writing. One of Gachiakuta's strongest aspects. The writing is so nuanced and layered compared to your average shonen series. How Kei Urana is capable of writing these flawed individuals but be relatable at the same time. Digesting most of it requires a certain level of critical thinking because it's not blatantly told or spoon-fed to you. If you're not willing to look deeper under the surface and take everything at face value, its true qualities won't connect. Certain shonen tend to depict the characters as perfect little rays of sunshine that can do no wrong when that isn't realistic at all. Honestly, Urana's style of writing is more in line with a seinen. I wouldn't be surprised if post Gachiakuta they create a seinen manga. Strength number 5, an amazing English and Japanese dub. The ongoing debate that predates most fans is the discussion of sub versus dub. What's better? What's more ideal? Sub is the correct answer. Like, are you stupid? Are you stupid or are you dumb? Like, come on now. But when it comes to Gachiakuta, both are extremely good. You can watch in either language and it won't alter your enjoyment with the show. The casting and direction is perfect. Phenomenal performances across the board. Now, these weaknesses are only exclusive to anime-only viewers, so they aren't really problems necessarily. But number 1, the pacing. I've seen people say that up until this point, Gachiakuta has done nothing but exposition dump, and to an extent, I understand, but all of that setup will make sense as the series progresses. And where we are in the anime, this is really where the story kicks into gear. And the last weakness, Amo. As expected, Amo's introduction in the series has ruffled a lot of feathers online, specifically with episode 12 in its latter half. Discourse has plagued the fandom regarding Ruto's brief physical altercation with Amo. Numerous Twitter users, most likely males, are showing their true colors, applauding Ruto for brutally assaulting Amo, saying things like, "She deserved it," or "I would have done the same thing," blah blah blah, painting the picture that Ruto is 100% in the right and Amo isn't, when in reality, both are wrong. Amo was wrong for using everyone's memories against them. Ruto was wrong for punching Amo, who was powerless and couldn't defend herself when that wasn't the initial point of the mission. His anger clouded every other form of judgment that when he came back to his senses, you can see an instant realization of him doing something terrible. What if she wasn't willing to cooperate with the cleaners after that? She could completely deny their request for information and not be wrong. This moment was a test to your critical thinking skills, and most of you niggas failed, and revealed a much deeper issue that needs to be discussed. I hope y'all male anime fans don't have girlfriends, because y'all definitely have some level of misogyny in you that needs to be eradicated pronto. Other than that, Gachiakuta is a very solid show. This was probably the show I was looking the most forward to this season, being a manga fan. And I can't wait to see where this show goes and how it ends, because yeah, we're in for a wild ride with these remaining episodes, which is why I'm ranking Gachiakuta an A+S. Probably more towards A+ where the anime currently is, but where it's gonna end, definitely it'll be bumped to an S. Next show is The Summer Hikaru Died. After a trip into the mountains being labeled missing for a decent period of time, Hikaru returns to his town as if nothing happened. Suspicious of his disappearance, his best friend Yoshiki confronts him about it. Yoshiki comes to the realization that the Hikaru that came back isn't the real Hikaru, but something more mysterious. After coming clean, Hikaru reveals his true form and promises Yoshiki not to tell anyone in hopes of staying alive, and through this, more dangers begin to plague their town. This show is a masterclass of supernatural horror thriller. Its biggest strengths, like I just said, the supernatural elements. Sometimes it could be scary, other times it could be unsettling, and how it's presented will send shivers down your spine. I should have prefaced this by saying I'm just a manga reader. I haven't watched the anime yet, but from the clips I've seen, I'm highly impressed. Number 2, Hikaru and Yoshiki's friendship. You can tell these boys have a deep bond for each other. They know so much about each other that they can tell when something feels off. That's how the whole series starts, with Yoshiki revealing the other Hikaru, and he didn't want to tell people the secret because he truly missed Hikaru, and that doing that would kill him. So Yoshiki is willing to risk entering this new world just to continue to be with him. Number 3, it does a good job of hiding the BL undertones. Now, I wasn't aware that the manga was a BL when I initially read it, so I guess I like BL now. I appreciate how the mangaka doesn't shove the BL at you, but keeps it more on the low key. And number 4 is how atmospheric it is. When reading the manga, the presentation gave off an eerie, unsettling feeling that's never ending. Each page riddled with cicadas chirping, scattered panel layouts, high-level shading detail, and it all culminates into a cinematic read, so I can only imagine what the anime is like. And as far as weaknesses, I don't have any, because it's that well executed. If you haven't watched The Summer Hikaru Died and was looking for another show, this is one of the shows I would highly recommend. This and Gachiakuta, which is why I'm ranking The Summer Hikaru Died an S. Again, I haven't seen it, this is just coming from a manga reader, but if the anime is anything like the manga, yeah, S. Next show, Ruri Rocks. I'm definitely leaving that in. Ruri is obsessed with jewelry. I cannot say this name. But after being denied an increase in her allowance, she starts to go into the forest to find jewels. During her hunt, she encounters Nagi Arato, a college student studying mineralogy. I'm keeping all of this in. I don't care. Through Nagi, Ruri is exposed to a new exciting world she didn't know existed. Now, strength number 1, the characters. All the characters are so unique and different in personality. Individually, they're a joy to watch, and together, even better. Ruri and Nagi are a fun character duo and balance each other out perfectly given their student-teacher dynamic. Same goes for Seto and Imari. I even like Ruri's Gyaru friend, who makes a short appearance towards the end. She was teased throughout the season, but I wish she had more screen time. One thing's for sure though, every single character is adorable to watch. Ruri, Seto, and the Gyaru friend are all cute, fun, charismatic girls whose chemistry is through the roof. And Nagi and Imari are both smart, wise teachers to the kids. And they're fine and thick. Must be from all that walking and finding rocks because they are stacked, especially Nagi. Do I need to get into mineralogy now? Is that where all the baddies are? Speaking of mineralogy, number 2 is its strong knowledge regarding the topic. What I appreciate about mangaka is that they make sure to research up and down to be as accurate as possible when creating. And that's no different here. I was never interested in science, let alone mineralogy, but watching Ruri Rocks and learning in real time with the girls, it didn't ruin the immersion for me. Every explanation made me understand even more what they were doing. Strength number 3, the character design and animation. What initially piqued my interest of this show was a clip I saw from episode 1 when Ruri discovers a rock underwater, and the visuals made me want to watch it. The character designs are simple, but that allows for some stellar animation. It kind of reminds me of modern Pokemon, how they look. Just very visually appealing designs. And the animation is expressive, fluid, and full of energy. Despite it flying under the radar, the show has some of the best visuals to come out of summer 2025, and I'll firmly stand on that. And number 4 is the compositing. Top notch. How the animation, backgrounds, rock textures, lighting effects come together is perfect. A lot of love and care was put into the entire season and it never dips in quality either. And the only weakness for me is that it's too short. It's way too short. I could have easily watched another 11 episodes and not have been bored. If you're looking for a new slice of life, cute girls doing cute things show, I highly recommend checking out Ruri Rocks. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to, which is why I'm ranking it an A-B+. Hopefully it gets to season 2, or hopefully the manga isn't short and that's the entire show. I really want more of this show is what I'm saying. But moving on. See you tomorrow at the food court. Wada and Yamamoto are best friends who met in their last year of middle school, but because of the two going to different high schools, they contemplate on how they were going to see each other. They then decide to meet at the local food court every day after school to hang out. This is where they talk about different topics like YouTubers, boobs, gacha games, learning English, anything that comes to their mind. Strength number 1, their banter and chemistry. The dynamic between Wada and Yamamoto makes for some hilarious conversations. How they're able to play off each other each episode feels seamless. Even though it's an anime, their personalities are very realistic. It reminds me of me and my friends, having conversations about the most random shit, bouncing from topic to topic and wondering, how do we even get here? Strength number 2, its chill nature. This is a very easy to digest show. Only 6 episodes, so if you were curious about it, you can easily blaze through the show. Strength number 3, it's simple yet effective. This isn't a deep or thought-provoking show, but it's not trying to be. What it's trying to do, it excels at. Despite my ranking, I would rewatch this. Weakness number 1, it is formulaic. Once you're familiar with the episode structure, it can get predictable, but how short each segment is and how much the topics change makes up for it. And number 2, the dry humor. If you're not a fan of like early home movies, Daria, Dr. Katz type humor, you won't like this. The comedy isn't completely like that because it's still anime, but it's not loud and in your face like most shows. So if you're not a fan of dry humor or not used to, anime being this relaxed, I guess, then you're not gonna like this show. I'm ranking this a C+. Again, it's not doing anything too crazy, it's not reinventing the wheel, it's not inherently bad, it's just, right down the middle, but that's not a bad thing, which is again why I'm ranking it as C+. But yeah, as you can see, I didn't get into all of the shows because this video would be extremely long, so I decided to break this up into 2 videos, and I will talk about the remaining shows in part 2. But yeah, that's the end. What do you think about these shows? Did you come out of it with a recommendation? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you rock with the video, leave a like and subscribe. Till next time, deuces.